Have y'all heard today in 1947, Chuck Yeager broke the sound barrier with 2 broken ribs? Coming at you. Y'all, October 14th, 1947, an Air Force Captain Chuck Yeager became the first person flying faster than sound. Woo! Flying the Bell X-1 rocket plane, Glamorous Glennis, named after his wife, Yeager broke the sound barrier over Rogers Dry Lake in California desert, reaching Mach 1.06. That's about 700 miles an hour. What makes this incredible? 2 nights before, Chuck fell off a horse and broke 2 ribs. Didn't tell his bosses because he was afraid they'd drowned him. Probably would have. Morning of the flight, he could barely move his arm, closing the cockpit door. His buddy Jack Ridley rigged up a broom handle so Chuck could lever it closed with his good arm. X-1 dropped from B-29 bomber at 25,000 feet. Then old Chuck rocketed to 40,000 feet and punched through that barrier like tissue paper. Scientists thought it might be impossible. Plane might shake apart. But old Chuck proved them wrong with grit, skill, and extremely high pain tolerance. Ooh, y'all, it is National Dessert Day. Wipe your chin off. There you go. It's dedicated to sweet rewards at the end of every meal, or it could be the main course. Whatever, it's dessert day, y'all. Break the rules. It's the reason we eat our veggies. Dessert's been around forever. You know the ancient Egyptians combined honey with fruit and nuts. Romans loved honey-soaked pastries. Medieval Europeans created elaborate sugar sculptures. But us Americans, we Americans perfected the art with apple pie, chocolate chip cookies, pecan pie, pecan, whatever. And every cake you can imagine. You know where the word dessert comes from? Where? The French, meaning to clear the table. Tells you everything, don't it? So important it gets the table all to itself. Grandmama always said, life's uncertain, boy. Eat dessert first. You know, she had a point. Whether pie slice, ice cream scoop, or chocolate cake the size of Texas, dessert makes everything better. Proof that God loves us and wants us happy. Today, skip straight to the good part. Go on, straight to it. Y'all hear some good book wisdom. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego from Daniel chapter 3. King Nebuchadnezzar, we call him King Nebi around here, built a big old golden statue and said, everybody gonna bow down and worship it. Anyone refusing to be thrown into a blazing furnace. Talk about peer pressure. 3 Hebrew boys said, no, we only gonna bow to God. King was so mad, his face turned red as a mater. Ordered furnace heated up 7 times hotter than normal. I guess because the regular temperature just wasn't enough. I don't know. It got so hot that soldiers who threw them in there died from the heat. That's hot, y'all. Amazing part, the king looked into the furnace and he saw 4 fellers walking around and not 3. Hey, didn't we throw 3 of them in there? I see 4, and that 4th one looks like a son of the gods. Jesus showed up in that fire to hang out with his faithful followers. When they came out, not a hair singed, robes weren't scorched, didn't even smell like smoke. The only thing that burned were the ropes binding them. God doesn't just protect us from fire, y'all. Sometimes he meets us in the fire. So stand firm. You ain't alone. Y'all, it's National Fossil Day. Don't look at me like that. Fossils are nature's history books. Ancient plants and animals preserved in rock telling stories from millions of years ago. America has the world's best fossil sites. You know that? Dinosaur bones in Montana to ancient sea creatures in Kansas. Our country's like a big old giant museum under the ground. Paleontologists are like time-traveling detectives who dig up clues about the Earth's past. You know what the coolest thing is? They remind us how young we humans are. Them dinosaurs were stomping around a long time ago before we showed up with smartphones complaining about slow Wi-Fi. Appreciate those old critters who left us their bones to study on. Hey, if you find a cool rock, you might be holding history. Mid-October 1997, and Deana Carter climbing the charts with How Do I Get There? Deana had a voice sweeter than honey. But these lyrics, y'all. Whole song's about a woman asking for directions to her lover's heart. We know a feller wouldn't do that. We walked 1,000,000 miles now. How do I get there? Lady, if you walked 1,000,000 miles together and you still don't know how to reach his heart, maybe he ain't that into you, girl. That ain't romance. That's GPS malfunction. She's singing, tell me how to win your heart. I haven't got a clue. Most folks figure out the basics after the first few dates, but Deana's still asking for an instruction manual. Like being married 20 years and still asking, so, do you like me or what? Best part, she makes it sound profound instead of problematic. Point me in the right direction. Ma'am, after all that time, direction should be obvious. Either he's terrible at communication or she needs better navigation skill. But it did go to number one because every person in a complicated relationship felt this confusion. Yeah, sometimes love feels like trying to find your way without a map. And old Deana put that frustration to music. Country fans love a good, I'm confused, but I'm committed kind of an anthem. Woo-hoo! That's all for today's Have Y'all Heard, because now y'all have. Go and leave a comment if you're smart or smiling or hungry. Until next time, later taters.